What have I just read on Tuesday, the 22nd of August, with Mike, Nadia, and our little jingle? Great, good to have you. Thank you. We've already got a comment from we've been reading Micah. We started prophets whom God had sent to remind people of Israel about this. One of the most significant prophets to prophesy the coming of Jesus. Bring nations stop fighting each other where we all live in kingdoms. That comes later in chapters 4 and 5. But he's also predicted, in fact yesterday he predicts the downfall of Jerusalem, which is the northern state, to the Assyrians in 72 BC. So that he hadn't actually realized the capital of Israel is called Samaria. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We said Samaria. We said Samaria, blah, blah, blah. This will happen to you. I thought actually it was a person. Yesterday we read it. And actually Samaria. Then in the next line it said, and Jerusalem, blah, blah, blah. This will happen to you.
The capital of the
capital of the southern. Yeah. Those two verses in chapter 1 yesterday, which we read, they made perfect sense. Samaria, blah, blah, this is happening to you. Jerusalem, blah, blah, that's happening to you. So that's basically the northern part and the southern part.
The two capitals.
Yeah, the two capitals of the. Yeah, so I did a little bit of geography as well since yesterday.
There are some prophecies indicating the future coming of Jesus. The king will pass on before them, and it says that they will be gospel. There's a very passage when Jesus says, "I'm the gate, I'm the good shepherd."
Right. Oh, so that's interesting.
Also, if you think
Israel, you'll all come together like sheep in a fold. And it's actually really interesting how you talk about past the gates. Yeah, because I want to think these people who live in an agrarian society with livestock and sheep and stuff, I guess it probably means something much more to them, perhaps. But I think it's very interesting. They would break through and pass the gate, which obviously means they're part of the group or together with the Lord. It's interesting.
Yeah, from sin to salvation, something like it. So it can be understood in several ways. Yeah, and then Jesus later in John, Jesus says that whoever passes through me will be saved. So.
Right. There's and in the first part of this is a lot of an interesting thing in chapter 2 is about do not preach. Thus they preach. It was actually they were saying they were kind of fed up with listening to people like Micah and prophets coming. And it's saying, so you're telling me.
They just didn't want to hear. They ignored the prophet.
And it says, but actually, the Lord keeps on sending His prophets. Do not my words do good to one who walks uprightly, saying that basically my words are the kind of way to salvation and saving you. There's a lot in that, and it's quite short. It's only 7 chapters. Shortest book in the Bible. So I googled shortest book. Some books which are like, I think Obadiah is one of the shortest, but it's like it's a quarter of my sermon 2 Sundays ago. That was 2,000 words. Mark 5.
Yeah, again.
Great one.
Very famous episode. And I think it's very inspiring also about this woman who had so much faith, so she thought that she would just only have to touch
amazing
clothes and she would be healed, and this is what happens.
Amazing, and her faith is so strong. And I think it's so interesting. He was immediately aware that power had gone forth from him. He just turned back the crowd who touched my clothes. It is, isn't it? And it is amazing that this kind of faith, and it's interesting how she feels that she's sort of in fear and trembling fell down before him and told him the whole truth. And I like the fact that she didn't sort of run away, kind of all scared. And he said, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go and be healed of your disease." And also the first bit is interesting. He's one of the leaders of the synagogue named Joseph. He's you know, one of the
Jairus, yeah.
one of the Jewish elders, right? So and that's very interesting.
And he also has faith in Jesus, even though many of his fellow leaders don't. And but his daughter is saved the daughter, even though I guess it might be.
Okay. Pharisees are like this. Two people who show great faith. So true. And it's interesting because obviously at this point, you know, there isn't such a thing as Christianity, which is really that. It's when Jewish day was when Jesus was in the synagogue doing all those good things like a good young Jewish boy. So he's sort of. It's just interesting how people within the Jewish community do listen to him.
So it takes courage to acknowledge him and to follow.
Yeah, exactly. And it is very interesting. She heard about Jesus, came up behind him, touched him. Immediately hemorrhage stopped, and she felt in her body that she was healed of her disease. It's really interesting how she felt feeling. And I sometimes think we all feel that when we sort of do something bad, we sort of feel it almost like a disease inside us.
Sometimes you feel such things in your body.
Yeah, and sometimes we sort of turn away from temptation or don't, you know, actually feel actually somehow clean. I just felt there was a lot in that line, more than just her hemorrhages. It's interesting.
Yeah. Also, how here even now accounts of people who get through, who have to go through difficult when they look back. So here is also
exactly
very relevant to
just like her. Yeah, the first that fear is someone else. You know, he goes to Jesus, says, "Please help this other person," and then her doing it for herself. It's quite interesting contrast how we can help others actually.
And also, the leader of the synagogue will have something. It's just tomorrow.
Great. Okay, we've been rattling on for 9 minutes. Woo! Time for 8 day. Bye.